up, everybody? Sean, Mostly Metal. How we doing? This is my DVD collection part 2. Video might be a part 3, looking at the pile, but not sure, but we'll just play it by ear. I'm listening in the background an album many of you in the black metal world probably know, Obsequiae. Suspended in the Broom of Eos. This came out, I think, in 2011. Yeah, 2011. This is a repress. I can't remember which version. It's on $20 spin. Just gonna see what color it is. If people care about the color, it doesn't really say. Yeah, it does. Ultra clear with Kelly green splatter, whatever that means. I don't know my Kelly greens from my Army greens, but so this came out in 2011. I've been a big fan of these guys. I was not familiar with them when this album came out. Discovered them later on in life. Actually, just a few years ago, I think. Of course, I heard the name, but just never dug into them. And now I'm a huge fan. This is their debut full length. So I'm out of Minnesota. Just great stuff. So check them out if you haven't. So we're gonna start with the G's here in my DVD collection. The first one, everyone will love, and that's a joke. Hated by G.G. Allin. Not by G.G. Allin, he's in it, of course. This was a documentary of G.G. Allin. I highly recommend it, even if you're not a fan of G.G. Allin. It's very entertaining. I'm a huge fan of music documentaries, so maybe that's just me. This is the remastered DVD edition that has an hour of unreleased footage from Gigi's final performance. If you have not seen that, it's a complete shit show. There's the back. As you can imagine, I think there's times during the show where people are coming up to Gigi and just giving him pills, and he's just taking them, and the show gets canceled. There's a guy dressed up as a doctor that puts his finger in Gigi's butt and follows Gigi around with his finger in Gigi's butt. I don't understand any of it, but it's like a train wreck. Todd Phillips directed this. He's the same guy that did many movies, but Hangover movie series. He's the director of that. This is kind of where he started, is making these documentaries. He's got a couple other documentaries out, but when I first saw Hangover and I saw Todd Phillips, I'm like, sure, that's not the same Todd Phillips that did this, but it is. So this is an entertaining watch. I don't know if it's on YouTube, I'm sure it is, but if you want to own a piece of the history, check out Hated by G.G. Allin. Great stuff. Next up, we have Walk With Me in Hell, Lamb of God. This is a 2 DVD set, I believe. There's some innards there. It's one of them fancy flip packages. This is kind of takes you on board with Lamb of God around the world in support of Sacrament. This was back when they were, I think they were just starting to really get into their groove. They had a video on MTV. Redneck was the popular song. Ironically enough, a lot of people thought that song was about George Bush, and maybe it loosely was, but it was actually about the lead singer, Randy Blythe. Mark Morton, I believe is his name, the guitar player, wrote the song about Randy, calling him a redneck because of the way he acted and whatnot. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I think this is a DVD where Mark actually knocks out Randy. Randy's drunk in a kilt on the tour bus. You know, those of you that have been around drunks, that can be a little annoying. You kind of know why he would get that way, I would imagine. These guys, not only typically when you're around a drunk or whatever, you can just walk away. But these guys are on tour buses nonstop. They live with each other. They probably get on each other's nerves. They're with each other all the time. And I think Mark had just had enough and punched Randy in the face. And you laugh about it now. You know, I think Randy's actually sober now, and the band's still together. But sometimes that brotherly love comes out. This is about 5 hours of Lamb of God. they really started to lose me a little bit after Sacrament. A lot of their music sounded the same to me, and still does, kind of like Gojira. I know a lot of people are raving about their new album. To me, you can take Gojira and Lamb of God, take away the vocals, and I don't know if I could tell the difference. I'm not being super critical here. It's just they've lost my my attention over the years. I might dive back in. Everyone's raving about this new Gojira album. I listened to it a few times, and the first 3 songs I really liked a lot, and then it just kind of, to me, it just sounded like stuff I'd hear on my local rock station. So, whatever. Next up, a band I got into back when this, actually, I think this documentary might be what got me into them, but this is Dreaming in America by Lucero. This one came out, don't remember when, but it kind of talks about the struggles that Lucero had in trying to quote unquote make it in the music business. Here's the innards. If I remember right, this is the one that kind of shows the behind the scenes of them actually getting signed to a label. And the struggles they went through to get signed, up into, I think, Nobody's Darlings was the first time they really got a proper record deal. And just to kind of show you the struggle, this kind of scene kind of stood out to me as the band were struggling. Like, do we sign to a label? Do we get this money up front? Or do we just keep doing what we've been doing? And I think... I can't remember who it was in the band that said, some of the guys in the band were having a hard time saying, yeah, we agree to sign, no, we don't. And I think it was the lead singer who said, I can't remember his fucking name for the life of me, Ben, said, I now make as much as a substitute teacher, which, if you know anything about teaching, substitute teachers don't make a lot as it is. But substitute teachers really don't make a lot, and to them, to him, it was like, wow, I finally have somewhat of a salary that I can actually sort of kind of live off of, combined with being out on the road 200 days a year. So, again, if you like documentaries and even if you're not a fan of Lucero, they've gone on to bigger and better things since this. I would say they're still not as big as they should be, I don't think. I'm not sure why, but check that out. Dreaming in America, Lucero. And the reason I looked at this one is because this is another Lucero one, Bright Stars and Lonesome Nights, another DVD. This one is another documentary. I can't remember which one came first, though. I think this came after, but I might be wrong. But it's just another documentary about the band. If you are unfamiliar with Lucero, after this video I'll try to link the stuff below and see if you can dive in. They write some really great songs, slow, catchy, very heartbreaking at times as well. They have a song called The War that is just gut-wrenching. I'll try to find that as well. Next up, the Workhorse Chronicles, Mastodon, kind of a documentary-ish deal about the band before they became huge. This came out on Relapse, if I remember it, yeah. This kind of documentary-ish, too, about Mastodon and before they really took off. This came out in 2006, which I can't believe that was 15 years ago. But this was the golden age of Mastodon, my favorite time of their music. I still like some of their stuff. They've released albums like Crack the Sky, which I think are great. So it's been a bit since they put something out. But again, if you're a fan of documentaries and you're a later fan of Mastodon and you want to see where it all started, check this out. I'll do a couple more here. Looks like we're going to have a part 3. I'm trying to shorten my videos a little bit. I know the attention spans of the public these days, myself included, are pretty short. But this is Metal, A Headbanger's Journey DVD. I think this is a 2-disc. Yeah, it says right there on the front. This is a 2-disc edition. If you're not familiar with Banger Productions, they put this out. What's the guy's name? I can remember. Sam Feldman, I think, is his name. They have a YouTube channel now, but before they had a YouTube channel, Sam was making documentaries. He's done a couple documentaries like this, where he kind of talks about metal from the beginning all the way through its variations. He's got nice graphs and charts about bands that started certain genres and the splinters of those. It's very educational. If you're a new metalhead, you want to dive into metal and you don't know where to start, this guy and this documentary itself will lead you, in many different directions, and give you a great education on metal. Last but not least here for this one, I picked this up in a record store for very cheap not too long ago. Napalm Death, the DVD. This came out in 2001. Not much to show on the inside if I remember right. Just a little innards there. I don't think... Yeah, it actually has somewhat of a cool booklet. It shows pictures of Napalm Death. It's got some promo clips and a couple of live shows. And then there's a deal where they were on BBC TV, and they did the song Scum and You Suffer, which I think took maybe a minute. But it's got, some bonus footage here. This looks like it's a couple hours long. So if you can track this down, again, it's probably on YouTube. I've been kicking around just getting rid of these DVDs because a lot of this shit I think is on YouTube. So what's the point of having the physical product? But then at the same time, it's like, well, most of my music collection here is also on Spotify, so why don't I just get rid of it all? It's a very hard thing to come to terms with, getting rid of physical stuff, but I have been doing a little bit of that. But if you are a fan of grind and Napalm Death, check out Napalm Death, the DVD. Footage is kind of grainy, not the greatest quality, but still solid. So that's part 2 of my DVD collection. Hope you guys enjoy. Part 3 is coming very soon. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll catch you all very soon. Later.